everyone to Tweet Treats. This will be my first episode of actually cooking something, and I can't begin to tell you how much time was involved in just preparing for this. After all the comments that I've heard from Judy about my looks, I realized I absolutely had to have the perfect lipstick. I definitely needed to do something with my eyes because they look so pale. And I had to fix up my hair a little bit to make sure I looked my best for this show. And let's take a quick break. Well, great. Now we have returned from our quick break, and it is time for us to get started. I ended up picking some cookies to make this first episode of these. I think there's a lot of different names for this cookie. It is a very simple dough with lots of butter, and it's made with cream cheese and a single egg and very little sugar, but it's got a nice fruit. While the camera was not working, was I added a single egg yolk. And I had wanted to demonstrate this particular little tool I have here. And on the Food Network, you'll notice that a lot of the people who have shows have their own little favorite tools, and this happens to be one of mine. This was a free Tupperware egg separator that I got many, many years ago. And what I did already, which I'm not going to do again because I don't want to waste an egg, was cracked my little egg and I dumped it in there, shook it around a little bit, and I got the whites in here, the yolk, and dumped it in. And then we left for another break because I don't want to run the mix package of softened cream cheese. So let's go ahead and do that. And actually, I think this time I will go ahead and run the mixer. Let's see how that works out for y'all. You can give me your reviews. I mean, every show has to find its own pace. Is that right? Yes. All right. So I'm going to dump this flour. It's already got the baking powder in it. So this is what happens when we try to do it very neatly. Normally I wouldn't even bother to put it in a bowl. But this is a TV show, so we have to do things rather neat and orderly. Okay, I'm going to run this mixer for a moment. Let's see how this works. If the flour doesn't come up. Oh, a little bit of spilled flour there, as you can see. There it goes. These are supposed to be some of the best mixers you can get, these KitchenAids. No, my mother had a much better mixer. And it was no KitchenAid, let me tell you, and it didn't cost $300. There I am. Like I was saying, the thing with these kinds of doughs when you use butter like this is you want to mix them as little as possible. In order for dough to be tender when you use butter, you need to keep the mixing to a minimum. And I'm going to do that while you go ahead and get yourselves a cup of coffee, because we're going to finish up here. And then we're going to put our dough in the refrigerator. And then we'll be back later. We've got a nice hot cup of coffee. Now we're going to go into the stage where we're going to refrigerate our dough. So what I like to use to do that is some wax paper. And that I'm going to get some wax paper. Keep that over here. All right. I'm going to put it in two different sections, two different amounts of dough. So here we go. Got our little 2 pieces of wax paper. And then we're just going to take a big old spoon here and slop that dough on here. Remember, we're going to do that in 2 sections. Here's one. Put a little bit more, kind of even it out a little bit. Okay. All right, there we go. I'm going to just fold that up. Obviously, this is not like Rachel Ray. Rachel Ray makes her meals in 30 minutes. This woman is fast. And as any of you who know me at all know that fast is not my middle name. Lori can relate, I know that. I think Rosa said something on her blog about being kind of a slowpoke or being behind a lot of the time also, so maybe she can relate. Someone like Judy, Tracy, Zara, those are people who are pretty fast. They get their stuff done and move on to the playtime. All right, then now we've got our 2 little things of dough here. We're going to put those away for a little bit, and then we'll be back. We're ready to get going again. I have my dough here, roll it out here, and get that going. And in the spirit of the upcoming holiday, Lori actually asked me, had I gotten going on anything Valentine's Day yet, and I had to say no, and it made me think about it. But I decided that in making these cookies, hey, why not? These could be little hearts for my little girlfriends and my family. So let's go with a heart shape for our cutouts. Okay, so here's my little heart shape. Isn't that sweet? Zippy's over there walking around. She's interested in these cookies too. So I'm going to just basically cut these out, get a couple of them out, and then I'll stop the filming for a bit. I'll get the flavorings on. I'm just going to lay them. They're going to raise just a little bit. They're not really going to change size particularly. There is a little baking powder, so they'll rise a little bit, but they won't spread out sideways. Joe just got coming, so I had to go and tell him to stay out of the room so I could finish. Okay, I've got 4 of them here now. You see them kind of... Okay, I'm going to use 2 different flavored fillings. Let's move back out so you can all see what's going on. No pushing now so you can all see. One of the fillings is going to be apricot, and what I use for these is called Solo. And you can buy that in just a regular grocery store. It's meant for any kind of baking where you're using fruit, not pies or anything. It's meant for toppings. And I'm just going to use my thumb here, as you can see. I'm going to make a little imprint using my favorite, which is poppy seed. Poppy seed. And I'm just going to put about a half a teaspoon in the center of each of these cookies. There we go. And then the other one I'm going to use, which is Joe's favorite, and that is apricot. Again, about a half a teaspoon. There we go. One there. One there, and our sweet little heart shapes. Very good. All right, we'll get these finished, baked, and we'll have a taste. It seems to be doing just dandy. And I'm going to cook these, I think, for about 12, let me see here, 10 minutes exactly. Now we can take a break, get these in the oven, and we'll come back and we'll have a taste test. Well, here we are with the finished product. We got a little interruption, so you didn't get to see me take them out of the oven, but look, they came out beautiful. I got myself a cute little taste tester over here. Joe, if you wouldn't mind.
Sure.
This will give you a chance to see, everybody, what you think. What he thinks.
I'm going to try the poppy seed first.
There he is. Mmm.
It's definitely a number 10 on the taste test. Okay, I have to bite another one. That means I have to eat both of them now. Mmm. The apricot's to kill for. Recommended. Joe recommended.
And that concludes our first episode of Tasty Treats.